Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I apologize if I am low energy today. It took every single ounce of will in me to get myself out of bed this morning. I've been struggling lately, guys, and I'll talk a little bit about it at the end of the video. But, you know, the only time I get to film in my house is early in the morning before work, which is brutal, but it's because I can't film after work because my family's home and it's too loud, and then I can't film on the weekend because my family's home and it's too loud. So I'm stuck getting up early in the morning, which is really hard when you're kind of dealing with depression and lack of motivation. But anyways, I promised a viewer that I would make this video, and I know it will be helpful for other people. So I'm like, Dina, get your ass out of bed. We are doing this even if you look like a hot mess. So I have all my notes here. I did a whole bunch of research on this topic. If you guys are here, you probably either you're just wondering about this for yourself, or you may have seen my previous video. I will show you guys a picture. Basically, I talked about my receding chin being my biggest insecurity and how I wanted to get surgery. Long story short, I have decided against surgery for various reasons. One being, I don't really want to clean out my entire bank account. It's really expensive and I'm not rolling in dough, and literally all of my life savings I'd have to give them all up, which is stupid and irresponsible because my boyfriend and I already can't afford a place together because the standard of living in our, like, where we live is so ridiculous, even for rent, that, you know, like, I'm saving everything I can right now so that we can hopefully have a place together, because currently we're both living at home with our parents. So I'm not about to just dump all my money and then some on surgery. The other main reason why I've decided not to get surgery is because it is super risky. I just want to let you guys know that all the, you know, links, everything that I got my information from will be in the description box below. So I highly recommend doing more reading. I definitely pulled like the information that was like probably the most shocking because it's the stuff that stood out, although there is a lot more that is shocking and kind of scary, and there's just a lot of information for you guys. So I'm going to talk about just like listing off the main risks basically, and then I'm going to get into a little bit more detail about what the studies say, what the numbers say about like how risky this is. So obviously one of the risks involved in surgery is blood loss, which could be like mild, but it could also be severe. It is very possible that you can have like a hemorrhage and things like that. 2, infection. If you were to deal with a really severe infection, sometimes that would require more surgery after you've already had surgery, so that is concerning. 3 is one of the biggest, like most nerve-wracking risks, I personally think, and this is nerve damage. You can often get numbness around the area, which may be temporary, but in some cases it can be permanent, where like you won't have complete feeling in your jaw ever again. Like it'll always feel numb in certain spots, and I have heard of stories like that. There are a lot of nerve endings, a lot of nerves in this area of your mouth, so it's so easy to hit a nerve. Or we've got jaw fractures. The chance that when they're breaking the jaw to move it, like, you can get a fracture. 5 is problems with bite, fit, and jaw pain. So, I mean, they're basically reforming the way your jaw sits. There's chances that, I'm sorry, my birds are so loud. Come on, guys. Not right now. It's early in the morning. I'm sorry, guys. I don't think my birds are going to stop chirping, so we're just going to have to go through it because I can't wait. I have to work later, so problems with jaw fit. There's a chance that once they, you know, break your jaw and try to like move it into this other place, that it's not going to fit quite right, that you're going to get pain or discomfort. So that is a possibility. Number 6 was one of the scariest, and this was actually brought up by someone who DM'd me personally about this on Instagram, and they saw my video and they just wanted to show me like what they found. So it was actually like their research and like their comments that, you know, drove me to look into this a little bit more. And the risk I'm most nervous about is relapse. And relapse, if you don't know what that means, is basically after you have this corrective surgery for your jaw would go back to the way it was before the surgery. This is actually quite a high risk. The chances of this happening is way higher than you'd ever want it to be. Like, and imagine that. Imagine going through the trauma of having jaw surgery, like dealing with really like painful, long recovery because that's, let's be real, that's what it is. You have to be off work for a while because you're in pain. You can't eat for a while because you're in pain. And then imagine your jaw moving back to the way it was before surgery. So you have to literally go into more surgery and not knowing for sure if that's gonna even fix it. Like, I can't even imagine how stressful and upsetting that would be. So that is probably like the biggest reason why. Obviously nerve damage is pretty up there, but like that would be very upsetting. So there's also the chance of damage to your teeth. So there's a chance that your teeth can die. There's people that have had to have like actual root canals because of the damage to the teeth during jaw surgery. You could possibly have a loss of a portion of your jaw if things don't go quite well, like something might get cut out along the way, I don't know. And then we have changes to your teeth. So this was another biggest one that when I found this risk, I'm like, okay, I don't think I want to do this, because when you get jaw surgery, you most likely will have to get braces. Maybe you don't mind getting braces, that is fine. I have personally already had braces in my life. I do not want them a second time. I had them from summer of grade 7 to about mid grade 10, you know, back in high school. I got them off in high school. I'm 26 now. I do not want to get braces. If I were to do the surgery, by the time it would happen with like saving up for costs and stuff, I'd probably be closer to 30. I don't want to be 30 and have braces. Let's be real here, guys. It's just like, I've been there, done that. Maybe some people don't care. It's actually more traumatizing and difficult to have braces the older you get. It's better to do it while you're younger. Not to say that if you want braces, you should just never get them. Like, go ahead, get them. I was fortunate enough to have them when I was younger. I don't want to have them a second time when I'm older. And just the thought of having my teeth shift because of jaw surgery and become crooked is traumatizing enough for me, because I had crooked teeth growing up as a kid. My two front teeth had a big gap. I was made fun of. I had very low self-esteem. It was traumatic. I don't need my teeth getting messed up. So that was a big one for me. And then also problems with nose and ears. And there's honestly so many other things. Like, the jaw is so close to all these other parts of your face that it can affect these things. There's people that have had problems with breathing after. There's people that have had problems hearing after. Like, it can cause so many issues. So there's that. And then, not to mention, like I said before, there's also, you know, a lot of swelling and pain involved in the recovery of this surgery. It would honestly suck. I would be literally out of like being able to work, be able to do anything for a while. Every single video I would make, guys, would have to kind of be about my jaw and recovery, because like I couldn't make a normal video without people saying like, what's wrong with her face? Why is it so swollen? Like, you know what I mean? I'd have to take a break and that would just mess up everything. So anyways, those are the main risks, and those are my personal reasons why those risks are enough to divert me away from surgery. But I do want to talk about some of the, you know, the stats and some of the things that I read. The first one I want to share with you is actually about relapse. And this is the one that I actually was sent by that one viewer that DM'd me on Instagram. In their systematic review, Joss et al. 2010 found that 60% may experience relapse in the long term, and other studies put the figure at 100%. So those are numbers that you don't usually want to see for surgery. Like 60% may experience relapse. Kind of concerning. Like, that's really, really concerning. By the way, they use the term orthognathic surgery. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but that is jaw surgery. That's just like the technical word for jaw surgery. I also have another stat I want to share with you about complications, just in general, really. The risk of complications after orthognathic, I am sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right, surgery is more than 40%. Therefore, it is important that patients receive a detailed explanation on the complications related to an ortho blah 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 surgery before they decide to undergo the procedure. Complications in general are over 40%, guys. Like, those numbers aren't good. That is very, very scary. I also wanted to share this one about basically numbness. Sousa and Turini 2012 have amassed the most authoritative body of data in the comprehensive review, with the total study population encompassing 8,390 patients. They describe ortho blah 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 surgery, again I'm not saying that word because I can't pronounce it, as having many possible complications, with a staggering 27% of patients experiencing complications from nerve damage to blindness. what? Perhaps more concerning is the fact that this review did not involve complications related to surgical planning, which no doubt would inflate the figures further. Nerve damage is the most common complication following a surgery. A study performed at the University of North Carolina reported 98% of patients suffered altered sensitivity to the chin 1 month post bilateral sagittal ramus osteotomy surgery, with no improvement in 81% 6 months later. Infections after these surgeries can affect up to 10% of patients despite the use of prophylactic antibiotics. These infections may lead to obstruction of the airway, loss of bone or teeth, osteomyelitis, cavernous sinus thrombosis, and or meningitis. So yeah. So another thing I want to mention that I noticed when doing research is that if you go to a clinic's website, they will tell you risks, but they will not tell you the severity or the chances of these risks happening like these other study research-based websites do, which is concerning but understandable. Obviously, these are doctors that are trying to get customers and they don't want to scare off their customers, so they're kind of showing things in a little bit of a more rose-covered glasses thing, like, oh, there's risks, but it rarely happens. We know what we're doing. Don't even worry about it. Any doctor will probably tell you, oh, this is safe, don't worry about it. But if you ask a doctor in a different field about whether you should do this, like a similar but different field, you know what I mean? Like my orthodontist was like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do this. Like he did not recommend it at all. And I know this is not what he does, but he still works with the jaw and the teeth. So the fact that he was like, yeah, Dina, this is not a good idea. And then I see all these like studies that are showing like how scary and how risky it actually is. It's like, okay, is it worth it? Is this insecurity of mine worth fixing if it could possibly result in numbness of my face, you know, blindness, problems with my hearing, messing up my teeth, relapse, like all these other problems? It's just like, really, is it worth it? Another thing I do want to mention is most of the studies that I found were dated a little bit back, like at least like 10 years back. I understand that science and surgery is probably advanced a little bit since then, but with that being said, from what I've seen, jaw surgery is still one of the riskiest surgeries that you can get, despite the day and age that we live in. There's still so much risk involved with that. So anyways, guys, I hope that just kind of gave you a little bit of a clear idea of like what risks are involved with the surgery, you know, what you're kind of getting yourself into if you do go forward with it. Again, I highly recommend reading the articles below a little bit further to like really get into the details. If you're seriously considering surgery, I highly recommend you do your research further. All right, so I told you I'd kind of share at the end of this video where I'm personally at and stuff. As you know by now, I'm not getting surgery. Money, risks involved. For me, I feel like it's not worth it. Now, the other thing that has contributed to this for me is that I feel like I have bigger issues to deal with. My insecurity hasn't really been on my mind much. It doesn't bother me as much as it usually does. This doesn't even cross my mind unless I get messages or comments on YouTube or like Instagram DMs because people have seen my other video, which is fine. Like I totally get that. Like I knew people were gonna respond to it because it's something that other people deal with, and I had no problem like replying to those comments. I try to reply to all of your comments and stuff, and it honestly doesn't bother me. I feel like putting that out there, it almost like it gave my insecurity less power because it was out there. Like everybody that knows me basically knows. Like thousands of people that don't know me know. Like it's just, it used to be something that was like, oh, it's my secret insecurity. Now it's just like out to the world. I don't care as much because people know what it is. Like it's not something I'm hiding anymore. So I feel like that gave it less power, but also it's just like, honestly guys, I'm more stressed right now about work. I'm more stressed about the state of the world because it just sucks and it feels like nothing's getting better. And it's been like, it's having like a toll on my mental health. Like one, I can't see my boyfriend. Like I can't touch my own boyfriend because we live in separate houses and we're in lockdown again. Like we're going through a third wave. Ontario's numbers are super crazy high. It just doesn't seem to be getting any better. People are fighting the lockdown because they're fighting for their rights, but then they're protesting downtown without masks and no one's social distancing and our numbers are going up, and it's just like, really, it's exhausting. The fact that my life right now is like that is more of a stressful, upsetting thing than the way I look. Like it's not something that's crossed my mind as much. Like it just doesn't bother me. Is it something that I don't like? Yes. But it's not something that has completely, you know, taken over my mind compared to other things that I'm currently dealing with. At the end of the day, you know, what you do, what you choose to do, how you feel is completely unique to you. You can still get surgery, but I encourage you to do the research and maybe look into alternatives. There's some alternatives that have come to my attention. Do I completely believe or know if they do much? That's a different story. I'm not really sure. A lot of people have talked about this thing called mewing. I'm not going to explain it too much because I'm not going to explain it well, but if you guys want to look it up, I'll write it on the screen for you guys so you know what it's called. Basically, you're improving your tongue posture to improve the look of your jaw and stuff. I'm kind of skeptical that something like this can alter the way your jaw looks when they have to literally disconnect your jaw, bring it forward, and like screw it together to get it to look different. Apparently over time it does help. I've been doing it because it's easy, it doesn't hurt, there's no damage involved, like there's nothing I can lose from doing it, but at the same time I'm very skeptical that it would do anything. Some people claim it has helped them though, so I'm like, why not give it a try? The other thing you can do, which does not unfortunately help with the functional issues if you do have functional problems, but you know, getting derma fillers in the jaw area can make your chin look less recessed, which is what I am going to eventually try because although I have some functional problems, it's not super severe. So I'm like, I'm not going to get the surgery, but I do want to feel better about the way I look, you know, when I do pictures and stuff. I think I will eventually try filler. And when I do, I promise I will try to vlog as much as I can. I don't know if they let you bring the camera into the, you know, the room or not, but I will try. But I just want to let you guys know, like, please don't be like, did you do it yet? Like, don't be too anxious because it probably won't be for a while. Even though it's not as pricey as surgery, let's be real here, it's still a few $100s, and I've got other priorities and things I need to take care of. I need new glasses. Like, these are my old prescription. I need to get myself new glasses, but I haven't. But yeah, I've got other priorities, and I honestly, guys, I don't feel safe going to a doctor and getting filler right now. I just don't. Like, our numbers are so high. There's so many variants. I don't feel safe. I barely leave my house. I'm very high risk because of my asthma, and I have a high risk people in my family. The less I can go out of my house, the better. So I'm just holding off from filler for a while. Hopefully when the world stops ending, then I'll do that for you guys. Not for you guys, obviously. Like, I'll do it for myself, but I will film it for you guys to see. But anyways, guys, I'm going to end this video here because it's getting long and I am so congested right now. You probably have noticed, but I am very stuffy. My allergies are so bad this morning and I could barely talk right now. So I'm going to go get myself some tea. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you have any questions, comments, make sure you leave those down below. Have a look in the description box for those links so you can do a little bit more research, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.